Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Nancy, and we are going to be making an elegant birthday card today. So these are two new dies launched by Spellbinders. The first one I'm going to show you here. These are all designed by Becca Feeken. If you've never heard of her, she's amazing. Like, I just immediately think like elegant wedding stationery, just beautiful, right? So this is a 5x7 card on white cardstock. This is a piece of pearlescent card that I ran through an embossing folder. I think it's a Crafter's Companion embossing folder. And then the rest of these are the dies that come in the set. And this is a hot foil stamp out of the Glimmer Everyday Sentiments #2. And I'll link everything down below for you. But it's really simple. All I used was some pearlescent and some foil card, and you just cut them out. So this is going to cut out your outside frame. So you're going to layer these two together. So I cut these two together on the blue cardstock, and I got the outside part. And then this detailed white part I cut out of white foil card, which is going to be the outer and inner die for that. Okay, so that's the second piece. And then the third piece is another piece of that blue foil card, which I just cut out. And all I did was cut everything out, layered it together. And here's my hot foil sentiment, "It's your day." But you could see that would make a really pretty wedding card or a really pretty birthday card. Really not that hard to do. So I'm actually going to walk you through making this second one, which is the Birthday Wishes Vignette Etched dies, also from Becca Feeken. And these are all over at Spellbinders. I'll link them for you. Oops. Just get my dies put away here. And obviously yours will come in proper packaging. Mine was sent out prior to their launch. So on this set, we're going to make this live together. And I don't think this is a 5x7 card. I think I cut it down to be a little bit shorter, but let's take a look at the dies here. Oh, it's actually 6.5 by 10.5, scored at 5 1/4. See, I wrote myself a note. But it's basically the same concept. So we're going to cut the outside layer, the first layer. Oops, I have it upside down this way. Okay, so that'll be the first layer. And anytime you cut anything out of pearlescent or metallic cardstock, it just looks better, right? The second layer is going to be this, which has the birthday wishes already in there. So the sentiment's already in there. You don't have to worry about cutting it out, messing it up, or anything like that. And then as an option, I did cut kind of a colored layer. You can see my card is black, my colored layer is gray. So we're going to make this one together. It is really easy, even though it looks complicated, because it is so elegant. We're going to make this together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our card base, and I'm just going to use regular thick white cardstock, whatever you have, whether it would be you know, accent opaque or Nina, whatever you have. Okay, so we're going to cut that to 6.5 by 10.5. So I have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, so we're going to cut it to 10.5. I know that's kind of a weird size, but that's what made it work. So 10.5 in length. Okay. And 6.5 in width. And we are going to score it in the middle, which is 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. All right, so that is our card base. Again, that's 6.5 by 10.5 in inches, and it's scored at 5 1/4. Okay, so that is for our card base. And then I want my kind of background piece behind my foil card, this piece back here, to be pearlescent white. Now, a lot of you can get that. You can get Recollections brand. There's Astro Brights brand. There's so many different brands. So you can just get, this is a kind of a white cream. I guess it's more cream. Pearlescent cardstock. And we're going to cut the very outside layer out of this, all right? So before I cut anything, I'm going to just have my cardstock ready to go. So that way when I do my die cutting, I'm doing everything at once. So I'm just going to trim this down so I'm not wasting any paper. Alright. So now I have this ready to go through the die cutter, right? And then for my foil card today, and I know a lot of you have purchased a lot of foil card. I'm using Crafter's Companion, but you use whatever you have. And I just grabbed this because it's a nice, pretty eggplant purple color. So I'm going to cut another sheet of this down to 5.5 or 5 1/4 because we need that the big die to cut off of that. So we're going to have the big one cut off of this, and then we want the small one, this guy here. So we're going to cut a little piece of this. I'm trying not to be wasteful here, so I can probably get 2 out of this piece. Okay. Now with foil card, when you are running it through your die cutting machine, be careful because a lot of our plates are kind of, you know, they have scratches and scrapes and things like that in them. So to prevent your foil card from getting even more marred up, you can just put a piece of copy paper over it when you are die cutting it. So I'll show you what I mean here. And I'm going to use my Gemini Junior. I think the Gemini Junior does really well with cutting these intricate dies. So we're going to start with this foil card base plate. I'm going to use a little bit of the lime tape. You can also pick this up at Spellbinders. I like this better than the mint tape because it has a little bit more hold to it. It's the mint tape is too papery for me. I mean, I use it in a pinch, but all right. And then we're going to put our magnetic platform, shim, our milky shim, and then our top cutting plate. So we're going to run this through the Gemini Junior. You'll hear it cutting. Okay. And then, is it this one? Nope, the other one. So now we're going to go through our assembly line and die cut everything. And from here, all we need to do is assemble. All right, now, before I die cut the purple piece here, because this is going to be so intricate, because it's going to cut out all of these little pieces, I want to make it easier for me to assemble. So to make it easy to assemble, both of these purple pieces, we are going to put adhesive on them. So if you have Stick It or any kind of double-sided adhesive, it will make it easier when assembling these. So I do have an extra piece here, and I know I don't need all of this. So I'm just going to peel off this side here. Cut off the excess over here. Anytime I'm doing any intricate die cutting, I want to make sure, especially with fine lines, I want to try to always remember to put my adhesive on before I cut it, because it's a lot easier than squeezing the glue out. Even though you use a fine tip glue, that glue, everything shows on foil card. So not just scratches, but any kind of marks, okay? All right, and then this small piece, we're going to do the inner part of the die. We're also going to put some adhesive on that. Oops, I guess I didn't need to take that whole thing off, but that's okay. Whoopsie, we'll put that back on. There we go. Okay, so now this has a little piece of adhesive still or backing sheet. Okay. All right, so now both of my purple cardstocks are ready to be die cut. I think, see, I've already got marks on this just from being on the desk. All right, I'm going to cut the small one first. And I am going to cut both pieces at the same time. One cuts the inner part with all the details, and one cuts the outer part, which is actually going to release it from the foil card. Now here, this is what I was talking about. If your top plate is going to get in here and mar your foil, see all these areas here, you may want to put a piece of cardstock down. I'm not really going to worry about it, or a piece of copy paper down to protect it. Lost my tool in one. Where's my tool in one? Okay, well, my tool in one seems to have grabbed legs and walked away. Tool in one pokes out all of those intricate pieces. But you can you see how some of that, see that? All of the lines from my magnetic mat went in there. So you just want to be careful of that. But we'll see how this did. Ooh, very pretty. Okay, we'll pop all those out in a second. And then this is the Big Mama piece. It's our background. So we're going to, again, line these up. Where's my other piece of tape? Okay, and on this one, I'm just going to use the release sheets from the, because there's no marks on those. We'll see if that protects our foil card a little better. All right, let's cut that. Yeah, definitely lost my tool in one. The tool in one, in case you guys don't know, it's the brush with the handle on it, and it pushes all the little pieces out of your die cutting. But apparently I put mine, or should I say didn't put mine away in the right place. Alright, so that protected our foil card a little better. You can see the difference here, how this is smooth, and up here it's all bumpy from the magnetic shim. That's what happens when you don't put a piece of paper over that. Okay, so now all we need to do is assemble, and this is going to be super easy. So I could have pre-cut everything and said, okay, this is how you guys assemble it, but you can see with all of my talking, this has only been 14 minutes so far, so this to me is pretty quick, pretty easy. Alright, so I'm just going to take my little pokey tool and we're going to poke out all of these excess pieces, and remember they already have adhesive on them, so that will make it easier. Look how easy they pop out. Now, if you're having issues with die cutting, try putting, I know a lot of the machines have like a metal adapter that makes it easier to cut through. Just check the thickness of your cardstock. Some cardstock is just super thick or it's coated, especially when you're using these kinds of specialty papers and they have glitter or foil card in them. They usually have some kind of a plastic coating on them, and it's sometimes difficult to cut. So if you're having issues with die cutting, try changing your paper to something else before changing your sandwich. Okay, I think I got them all through here. Very clean. And then we have the sentiment, same thing. And Becca Feeken's designs are so elegant. Timeless is the word I would use. So this is a die you will use over and over and over again. And when you see how quick it is to do this, you could very easily do an assembly line and do a whole bunch of different colors. This would be great for grandma. It would be great for masculine, feminine, any age. You don't even have to put this centerpiece in. You could just make it an elegant card and then put your own kind of font in there if you wanted to stamp something or hot foil something with the glimmer plates. There's a lot of possibilities with using a detailed background die like this. All right, coming down to the wire here. My tool in mine would have made it easier if I had put it away in the right place. All right, I think I got them all. Now remember, these have a backing on them to protect the adhesive, so we're going to peel all that off, and that's some of the paper you see hanging off the back here. That's adhesive. It's ready to, it's the backing for the adhesive. It's ready to come off. Okay, so I think we have everything removed. Have all of our layers here, and we're going to, I missed one layer. I just realized that. We're going to take this and cut this out of the piece of pearlescent because we need this behind our happy birthday. All right, now we can assemble. So the first layer I have is this pearlescent cardstock. And I'm using Tombow Extreme because, again, when you have this kind of specialty cardstock, sometimes glue doesn't hold it in place as well as we would like. And I'm just going to center that on the card. Really simple to do. Then we're going to take our outer frame, and it's already all cut out. Remember, it has adhesive backing on it, so we just need to find where that adhesive backing is. This is the hardest thing about the whole card, you guys, is just getting that backing removed. There we go. And usually once you get that started, you'll be able to take that release paper off, get all that adhesive exposed. There we go. And Stick It is a nice thin adhesive, so it's very easy to cut through and apply. There are some adhesives that are, it's very difficult to remove the backing, and but Stick It is not. It's one of the easy ones. Okay, now I'm going to do is just line this all the way to the edge of my pearl cardstock. That's it. It is stuck down into place. Okay. Now I'm going to take this pearl cardstock for our sentiment. Same thing, put some Tombow extreme adhesive on that. Kind of center that. Cover that up. And again, remove the adhesive backing from this die cut. And I forgot to mention, if you wanted to pop it up, I would have popped up that center piece. Just giving it a little bit of dimension. Again, just adds a little bit of finesse to the card. Totally optional. All right, so we're carefully removing that background. Okay, and then I'm gonna center that right over the pearlescent cardstock. And that's it. We have a very easy, I mean, that was very easy. I walked you guys through all of the steps. I know sometimes when you see a die or a card online, especially when you get it and you get all of these pieces, you're like, okay, what does all of this go to? And it's really, just remember, they're paired. So you have these two go together, and the reason they separate them instead of making this one die is so that you can cut just the outline so that you can have that background. So Spellbinders was very smart in thinking about how a card maker is going to use this and want to change their colors, where other die companies would have made it all one die, and then you would have had to paper piece it together or inlay die cut it to get it to match up. So this is really easy because you can cut one of those, one like this, one of these for the background, and then one together for your centerpiece. So really, really easy and elegant. I hope you guys try it out. Again, I'll post the links down below for you. Don't forget the other card that I showed you, which is more elegant as well, and you can use that one for birthday or wedding. But doesn't that really step up? So here we have the black and the white. And then the other die set, again, it's just as elegant. I will link that for you as well. If you have any questions, post them down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep on stamping. Bye-bye.